Hey everyone, welcome to Bleacher Talk. I'm Claudia Collins with Jordan Spurgeon here. What? New name, same show. Super excited to be back. I missed you. I missed Bruce. Can't wait to have him on. But I feel like I missed so much in the last 2 weeks. I was back this past Friday, which was so refreshing. But if we're going to talk about quick picks, my mood is just going to go down because we can bring in Bruce Cooper to chat about it, even though I'm not thrilled. I am officially in last place. I didn't pay attention in the 2 weeks that I was gone getting married and doing the honeymoon thing. And yeah, I'm down 17-10. And Bruce, you've got the lead 22-5. Spurs kind of sitting there right underneath 21-6. And that lead in the beginning of the season, down.
Well, Claudia, we understand that your mind and heart was elsewhere, and as well it should be. But look, welcome back, the new Claudia Collins. You said, right?
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. We're so tickled, pink, and peacock proud to have you back amongst us. We missed you. We missed you immensely.
Well, I missed you guys too.
Quick picks grave though, right there.
Yeah. Well, now I have a chance to redeem myself. We're gonna go into it. The first matchup I've got for you guys is Brophy versus Liberty. Bruce, who are you picking? And I might just be keeping that in my head since you're
Brophy is at Liberty. This is the Desert Valley Region Championship. Oh wow! I'll tell you what. Colin Thomas has just done an extraordinary job over there at Liberty. They did hand Red Mountain their only loss this season, but I got to tell you, I just love the way Jason Jewell and that Brophy Bronco defense is playing right now. And I got to believe that mantra, defense wins championships. And so I'm going to play that mantra in this matchup here. I'm going to take Brophy because I really like the way their defense is playing right now. So give me Brophy 21, Liberty 10.
All right, Spurge, what do you think?
I've been going back and forth on this all week. Liberty, to me right now, they're in prime position to be an open division team. They've had a really spectacular season. But like you said, Bruce, I just saw Brophy last week against Centennial. I know Centennial hasn't been the same Centennial this year, but that offense for Centennial couldn't move the ball at all. There were probably 10 3-and-outs that I saw, multiple turnovers. Brophy's defense was all over the place. Took them a while to get the offense rolling, but Elijah Warner really found his own with Kurt, his father, coaching him on the sidelines. And I just think that Brophy's defense is a little too strong for Liberty. It's going to be a really low-scoring game. I think Brophy's going to win somewhere around 17-14 over Liberty. I was back and forth on that all morning long.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a unanimous decision. I'm also going to have to go with Brophy. You guys both mentioned the defense, but I mean, that's no knock on the offense at all there. Let's also not forget that they're on a 5-game win streak. So coming in with that kind of momentum into, the tail end of the season, I think is key here. So I think Liberty's going to give them a tough test. Totally agree. It's going to be a low scoring game, but I do think it's going to be Brophy at the end of it all. The next matchup is Mountain View versus Basha. Spurge, you go first this time.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a magical season for Basha, and for some, it's a year early. I think I kind of expected to see this from this team this year after some of the energy around them last year and coming into the offseason. And hey, Mountain View's had a really good season. One of their only losses, or their only loss, coming to Red Mountain this year in the Battle of Brown Road. I like what Joe Germain's doing as the head coach. His son Jack has really stepped up since that loss to Red Mountain. He's had a really good season as a sophomore gunslinger, but Basha is just on another level right now. They're a team that has a legit shot to win the Open. I'm not sure if they're there with Chandler and Hamilton yet, but on any given night, I could see them giving them a fight and potentially winning that game. And so I just think Mountain View is running into a train wreck here. I think Basha is going to win this one pretty easily. I think they're going to win probably 35-20.
All right, I'm going to go now before you guys think I'm copying you guys. I also agree with Basha here. I chatted about them on Audibles as well. They, our topic on Audibles was teams that are peaking at the right time, which feels like a weird topic to bring up Basha because we're 9-0 and we're talking about it. But their schedule has gotten increasingly difficult as the season has gone on, and they've continued to prove themselves. And they're a super young team, which makes this even more impressive. Like, they're basically a sophomore team. When you look at their really key star players, they're all sophomores. And, you know, their quarterback is just super dynamic. He can run, he can pass. I mean, he can do it all. And I just think it's going to be too much for Mountain View. But I do think it's going to be a little closer than you're saying. I'm going to go like 35 to 25. We'll make it a 10-point game. So not too crazy, I guess. Bruce, what do you think?
Yeah, well, Central Region Championship on the line here to the winner. And I look, Joe Germain, his first year at his alma mater, coming over from Queen Creek, has done a fabulous job there. But look, with the Hamilton transfers, you talk about the talented quarterback Williams under center. I just think that Basha has too many playmakers, a few more bullets in the holster, if you will, than Mountain View does. So I'm going to take the Basha Bears to finish the regular season 10-0 and Central Region champions. Give me the Bears at home, 38, Mountain View 24.
Y'all realize this isn't good for me, right? That we're all just agreeing on everything. So I'm going to go last this time. The last matchup we're chatting about is Williams Field and Red Mountain. And I just want to see what you guys are going to say. Spurge, take it away.
Yeah, this is another matchup. It's the battle for the 6A Fiesta region title here between Williams Field and Red Mountain. I think Red Mountain has a legit shot to make the Open at this point. I think a win here guarantees them a spot in there. As you know, a 6 or 7 seed potentially, which is a really huge step up for Red Mountain, who's having a bit of a resurgence this year. They had an impressive win against Queen Creek. They were the first team to prove all three of us wrong last week. We've never all three been wrong in one game. We all went for Queen Creek, and Red Mountain won 23-21, basically knocking Queen Creek down from an open division team to potentially just a 6A team. And so I think, you know, for them, defense is really strong. Offensively, quarterback Carter Crispin makes plays when he needs to. I think it's going to be somewhat of a close game, but I'm going to take Red Mountain to win this one 24-21.
Yeah, okay. I could go. I like that. But, you know, I'm also, look, each of these teams have a premier wide receiver. I mean, there's Kyler Casper over at Williams Field and Jacoby Lane at Red Mountain. I mean, he's an absolute stud. But when I look at that common denominator, each team has played Queen Creek. You talked about Red Mountain with the big upset win over Queen Creek last week, 23-21. Well, Williamsfield lost a squeaker to Queen Creek, 21-20. So I'm going to play that, and the fact that it's a home game for the Mountain Lions. I'm going to take Mike Peterson and his Red Mountain Lions by a 7-point, 28-21 win over Steve Campbell and the Blackhawks of Williamsfield.
So I was going to pick Red Mountain. I'm not going to do that anymore, which is either I was ready to talk about Jacoby Lane, Lennox Lawson. I'm not doing any of that. I am just going to play my cards here and go with Williams Field for the reason to hopefully catch up. That's all. That is my reason.
That is awesome, though. Well, that was a great segment of Quick Picks, Bruce. Fun time as always. Enjoy first place for now. I think you and I agreed on all 3 games, so you're going to have first place to yourself again next week. I got to change it up next week.
Well, here's the deal. Miss Collins is back. That means we better stay on our toes here.
Yeah, it was because I was out the last 2 weeks. That's why I'm behind.
Okay. Well, stay tuned to Bleacher Talk presented by VIA Luna. Coming up next, we've got an interview with the ALA Gilbert North head coach, Randy Reisdorf. 3A playoffs start this Friday, so definitely stay tuned for that on Bleacher Talk. Welcome back into Bleacher Talk presented by VIA Luna. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Claudia Collins, and now we're joined by ALA Gilbert North head coach Randy Reisdorf. And coach, you got playoffs this week. You earned the 1 seed this season. How are you feeling about your squad? Just finishing up the regular season and now getting ready for a playoff matchup.
Yeah, we've been battle tested through this regular season. A tough, probably the toughest schedule that I've played in probably 20 years. with the likes of Sabino, Yuma Catholic, ALA Queen Creek, Thatcher, Valley Christian. I mean, Arizona College Prep, who didn't make the playoffs, who definitely is one of the top 16 teams in the state. You know, 3A is a handful this year. There's a lot of good teams, and there's good teams that didn't make the playoffs. And I think that came to a surprise to quite a few people, to be honest with you.
So full transparency here then, when you saw that schedule ahead of the season, did you really think you'd be in this spot now as a 1 seed? Was that the expectation?
Well, that is the expectation. Our goal is always to go undefeated, to win the state championship. And we are fortunate to win our 5th consecutive region championship. And so, you know, we didn't go undefeated. We got beat by ALA Queen Creek in a tight game. We came out on fire. And, you know, football is a game of momentum. And high school sports is a game of momentum. We jumped up big 21-0. And then at the start of the 3rd quarter, we watched the game get away from us in like 4 minutes. And, you know, some of the opponents we've played, namely Valley Christian, the game got away from them the same way the ALA Queen Creek got away from us. I think, and I think we're a good team, and I think Valley Christian is a very good team, but momentum in high school football is real, and it's got to be controlled. And you know, we're still learning how to do that.
So you say control. How do you keep your guys level-headed at this point in the season? Because it would be pretty easy to get overly excited about being in this position.
Yeah, you know, it's just another game. We just play one game at a time, and that's really the key, is just focusing at one at a time and not getting ahead of ourselves, and to look deeper into the playoffs. We've got to manage the next team up and prepare at a high level for those teams. And so the focus is not so much on our opponent, but our process and ourselves. And that's what we've got to be mindful of. We've got to continue to try to be the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. So we spend a lot of time in film, and our process doesn't change. We you know, some teams, you get into playoffs and you find yourselves in a 3.5, 4-hour practice. And I've been guilty of that in the past. But what I've learned is you can create burnout in a hurry. And so the last thing you want to do is get to a semifinal or a final game, look into the eyes of your guys, and they're just done and ready for it to be over. And so, you know, you just got to manage the whole season. And there really is maybe 3 seasons in one. And so now we're into the final season, and we want to be hungry and healthy and ready to go.
So I was there in your guys' win against Yuma Catholic. I was actually doing a story on their quarterback, Richard Stallworth, and I came away extremely impressed with Adam DeMonte, your quarterback. What growth did you see from him this year? Because before the season, everything that I saw was he's a nice 2-way player, and you know he has room to grow, and it seems like he really found himself this year.
Well, yeah, we had a really good quarterback the year before, my nephew, his sophomore year. So Adam, you know, being a sophomore and a starter at a varsity level, I found that's a challenge. And not that they don't have the tools, because Adam is the fastest guy on our team. He can flat out run. And throwing the ball, he's always had a really good arm. But that doesn't mean that he's the best quarterback just because he's the fastest and can throw the best ball. There's so many intangibles, leadership qualities that go in to, I mean, that's our coach on the field, right? And so, you know, Jack got hurt in the quarterfinals last year against Round Valley, and Adam stepped in, took us into the semifinals, had a great game, and then also played in the state championship. And I thought he played well enough for us to win in that game. So we know Adam is extremely special. Look, I think he's one of the best in the state. I really do. I'm prejudiced because he's ours, but he, you know, he reminds me a lot of my son and other guys that I've coached. He's a Division I kid, and you know, that's going to happen for him. It's going to happen for Richard Stallworth too. Richard Stallworth is an excellent quarterback, great size, great competitiveness, good leader. I mean, he has all those intangibles that college coaches are looking for. And you know what? I'm watching film on Sabino. I'm watching film on Snowflake, and throughout 3A, you know, we have really good quarterbacks. And look, I know there's great quarterbacks in 6A, 5A, and 4A. Arizona is just loaded with that position. And a big reason for that is these quarterbacks train at a really high level on a year-round basis. A lot of our quarterbacks go work with Dan Minucci and Gio, and these guys make a difference. They're really good at their craft. They've mastered their craft of coaching. And look, I'm not turned off by that at all. I would just want our kid to be the best that he can possibly be. And, when he's mine and I'm coaching him, then I want him to do it my way. But I'm grateful for these coaches and for these kids that have committed themselves, and these parents. It's a sacrifice for these parents because these guys aren't cheap. To train at a very high level, and we all benefit from their successes and our successes.
Who are maybe one or two other guys that you feel like really stepped up this season at a high level?
On our team?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it starts with our defense and the guys in the trenches. It really does, because that changes momentum, and it's changed momentum. In the Valley Christian, we had 5 turnovers. In the Yuma Catholic game, I think we had 4 turnovers. And so that happens. And I think what makes us special is our defensive front. Maddox Matheny, Brick Job, Corbin King, Bole Ty, and Nash Job, Casey Steckety. I'm naming a lot of guys, but we really do use a lot of guys. And those guys are fast and they're strong. Bole benched 320 yesterday, broke our school record for bench. We're still a new school, but these guys can move. They're strong. They're determined. They're athletic. Brick Job is a state champion wrestler. Maddox, these guys are multiple sport athletes. Bole is also. Corbin is actually a great athlete. He's a great long snapper. I think he'll long snap in college, and he's a scratch golfer. And so, look, these guys are multiple sport athletes, exactly what we're looking for. They're not just stiff football players that are super strong in the weight room. They can move. They're smart. They're disciplined, and it's an honor to coach them. And then the guy behind it all on our defense is Spencer Nilsson, who was the defensive player of the year last year in all of 3A. And so Spencer is an incredible linebacker. RJ Ashton is somebody that kind of came onto the scene halfway through the year, was competing. We had 6 linebackers competing to start, and RJ just kind of took over the middle. We actually moved Spencer to outside, which made us better. And so as the season and as our difficult schedule has taken place, it's kind of helped mold us into being a stronger unit. Whereas if we had played a softer schedule, I can assure you the guys that are starting right now may not be starting, because we got beat in places and we had to get better, and these guys stepped up, and it's just awesome to see that happen.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time today. Best of luck moving forward in the playoffs starting this Friday. And we will see you out there sometime soon.
Heck yeah, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our offense, because Adam DeMonte is special. Johnny Bellino got his first Division I offer on the right side. During the summer, our sophomore Brandon Phelps got Division I offers from the University of Arizona and got offers from NAU. So we have 2 Division I receivers on the outside. I've never had that in 3A or seen that, where you have 2 guys with a quarterback like Adam DeMonte with Division I offers, because Adam's a Division I guy to be. It just hasn't happened yet. And then there's just, Luke AC, Micah Al, McKay Beardall, Braden Bellinger, Easton Webster, and Brick Job. There's just a group of guys that had a really successful summer, and it's really led into great things here in the season. And we're excited for the playoffs.
Well, Coach, thanks again. We're really excited to see how you do as the season continues for you guys. Stick with us. When we come back, we're going to get into our social spotlight segment. Hey, welcome back into Bleacher Talk. I'm Claudia Collins with Jordan Spurgeon, and it's time for our social spotlight segment. And I feel like we need spotlights coming down on us or something.
I have a ring light. If that counts. I got this.
There we go. Just turn it on and off.
We'll hold it up here. like that.
Social spotlight segment. Love it. Hey, well, Spurge, I'm going to let you kick it off for us once you get your ring light settled back in there. What's the first thing on the menu?
The lighting is back. First thing on the menu, though, we're going to Higley football. Their former receiver, Danny Kittner, who plays for the University of Maryland Marauders, he broke the single season receiving yards record with over 1,206 receiving yards this year, surpassing one of their Hall of Famers over there at their school. So former Higley standout, doing his thing in college, breaking records. Always love to see local Arizona kids smashing some college records.
And since we're talking about local Arizona kids that are out playing college football, let's head out to Williamsfield High School, where we've got Trey Bug and Mason Bug out visiting their old team there, and they're with Caden Cloud, just representing Air Force. Love to see when guys go off to college and don't forget where their roots are and where they came from. Really cool to see them go back and visit.
Absolutely. Very, very proud of their service as well and being able to do all of that. Now we're going to go over to Valley Christian. Playoffs start this week for 3A. Valley Christian, one of the contenders. One of the guys helping them contend is Austin Gerard. He's a 22 wide receiver. He has the career record in receiving touchdowns now with 20. He broke it with 3 touchdown catches last week. Impressive stuff from Austin, and Valley Christian's going to rely on him heavily if they want to make a run this postseason in 3A.
Lastly, for me, we've got over at Hamilton, checking out Nico Marchiol. And this is just a dad tweeting after the game. Marchiol, Nico is everything I want my son to be as a young man while everyone else was in the locker room. Nico was out on the field playing football with the kids. I was at the game and I stayed late. While I didn't actually see him playing with the kid on the field, I was there quite late. I actually forgot something on the field, so I had to run back and get it. And I saw him out on the field chatting with his family and other, adults. And there was not a single other player on the field, and he was still in uniform. He still had not gone back to the locker room. And this is 30 minutes post game. That's just so much commitment. I love to see it. And I just, I'm sure that kid is going to was him for Halloween or something. I don't know, but it was a good time to see.
He should be. That's someone I'd be for Halloween. Nico Marchiol.
All right, next year.
Top quarterbacks out here for sure.
You have to get the flow going, though.
Yep, got to get the flow.
I think I'm a little bit closer.
Yeah, got to get the wide shoulder pads and really get that rolling. But speaking of that, we got the show back and rolling with Claudia Collins making her return. No longer Claudia Faust, Claudia Collins. Welcome back to Bleacher Talk. Welcome back to Sports 360 AZ. We're excited. This was an awesome show this week.
So much fun.
Good time with Bruce. Excellent interview talking 3A playoffs with Coach Reisdorf, and of course our social spotlight. Be sure to follow us on socials at Spurge _ What's your new one, Claudia? What's your new Twitter handle?
At Claudia F. Collins.
There we go.
So that's what I was able to swing with Twitter. Claudia Collins was already taken. So
there we go. Awesome. Follow Claudia, follow myself, follow Sports 360 AZ. And with that, have a great week, everybody. Enjoy some high school football this Friday night, and we will see you again next week.